Amar Yehuda Amar Rav Zudu Rabbi Akiva. The Amar Ein Kedushin Teivsin B'Chai Lavim. Right? Akiva holds that Chai Lavim Kedushin doesn't take effect. You have Mamzer. Chom Omrim Yesh Acha Chalitza Klum. Low say regular you marry except it is no Reb Kiva holds a Mamzer. Reb Kiva holds it's a Mamzer. Reb Kiva. Like if a person marries Yavom Lashuk, right? It's a Mamzer. Person's Mamzer Grushoso. He remarries his wife after she divorced and remarried. It's a Mamzer. No. The Gemara brings a pasuk. No. The Gemara brings a pasuk. Even Reb Kiva. Gemara brings a pasuk. That's a Yotzi. Neither not. No, she's not a Mamzer because this piece is Kedushin. No. It says even if you hold, the Gemara said earlier, even if you hold normally, even not the she'er, but neither is the Yotzi Min HaKlal. Because this piece is Kedushin. Person marries a neither, everybody agrees. A person is married to a neither. What is no, his wife comes a neither, the Kedushin should stop. Right? So this Kedushin, right, it goes hand in hand. But it brings the pasuk. Right. So neither is not possible. That shouldn't be Kedushin's Kedushin. Okay? Avacham omrim yesh achalitza klum. One second. Akiva. We had earlier, there's a machlokes tanoi in Rabbi Akiva. There's a machlokes tanoi in Rabbi Akiva. We had Rabbi Sheva. The question is it only by lav d'she'er? But let's say a lav of other lavim, not, or it's even lav, or even a mitzvah haseg. Let's say a mitzvah haseg. Let's say a person marries a mitzri, or not a mitzri, or right, where it's only dor shlishi. Is it a mamzer? So it's a machlokes in Rabbi Akiva. What would Rabbi Akiva hold by mitzvah haseg? Okay. But by lav the share, everybody agrees. Rabbi Kiva holds that what? Chavi lavin ain't topsin. Chomam yesha chalitza klum mi motzes mukvi lo Rabbi Akiva. Voktoni reisha nosen get vosen maimer tzricha get v'chalitza. Right? That means it's right. If you need chalitza, that means the zika. Right? We said if it says nosen get vosen maimer tzricha get v'chalitza. V'Reb Kiva cave the yovlo get mi mahani b'maimer v'otanya. Right now, it's if he say the get's drabonon. Right, we have before it's machlokes tanoim. If the get affects the gezika on a doraisa level, it's only drabon level. It's not a problem. Midoraisa you can't get. You can only give to an isha, not to a yavama. But some hold the get even affects the zika. So if it affects the zika, that means he's not allowed. So he's not allowed. He said it's a lav. He's not permitted to be with her. So if that's the case, so what do you have to give chalitza? Once you give the get, right? How do you have mimer afterwards? No, the zika, it's damage. It's damage. Right? It's like a person gives chalitza to. It says, right? It says, lo yivner. Kim shlo bono shuv lo yivner. If Reb Kiva holds, if you give chalitza, it's a mamzer. It's a lav. Give chalitza, then the yovam has relations with the yavama. So he's asking if he gives a get. Get is what? Is the equivalent of what? Of chalitza. To a degree. So if that's, you can't do yibum. So why is the yibum? Why is the mimer after get? We say there's a mimer after get. Right? It's like if a person does kedushin with a neshus ish. Is it anything? It's nothing. Right? So it's Gemara's question. Kevdi of get, mimani mimer, votani, Reb Kiva omer, minayin losin get, levivimto. Shneser olov olomis, shnemar. Lo yucho bailo rishon asher sholcho, acha shiluach. Right? Means asher shilcho. Once he sends her off, she's gone. She's like a master grushoso. Right? Reb Kiva holds a master grushoso. You marry it, it's ein kedushin topsin. Because it's a lav. Right? Reb Kiva holds a lav. Right? So over here, the same thing. He says, Luyucha bailo. He says, how do we know if you give a get to a yavomo that he can never take it back? So he quotes the same pasuk from master grushoso. Ravashi get yavom drabonon. So he says, on a Torah level, it doesn't affect the zika's amashu. Nothing. It's only purely appearance-wise. So therefore, that's the reason why there's maimer, acha get. Right? Ukras macht balma. The pasuk is only a rabbinic reliance. It's not the real interpretation. The pasuk is being a real master grushoso. Tainam yochi omar Rebbe. Eidvar malolo amurim elo the divrei Rebbe Kiva. Shoyose chalutzav ke'erva. Hoyose chalutzav ke'avo chachomomim. Yesh achalitza klum. After chalitza, you go marry the woman. This thesis kedushin. It's only a lav. The chachomim. Vani omer. Yeah, and the Ome Amos I bismachi kitcho l'shem l'shum ishus. Aval kitcho l'shem yevamos ein achalitza klum. Hear this? If a person wants to marry her, it's a chayvi lavim. But let's say he wants to do like yibum. He's miyabah me'eftig his chalitza. Torah says kivin shalobanu shalavu yivne. So it doesn't work. If he has bia l'shem kedushin or he's makadisher, it's tovus. That's tefisas kedushin by chayvi lavim, right? But if he wants to do yibum, once he does chalitza, he can't do yibum any longer. Klum. Bismachi kitcho adiyome bismachi kitcho l'shem ishus. Then it's what tzricha get. Aval kitcho shem yivomus ein achalitza klum. Tanya ido achalitza livimto. V'chozav kitcho Rebbe Ome im kitcho l'shum ishus tzricha imenu get. Right? Then needs l'shum yivomus ein tzricha imenu get. Chamomrim ben shekitcho l'shum ishus ben shekitcho l'shum yivomus tzricha imenu get. Because there's no such thing. No, because we hold not like Rabbi Akiva. No, but the Chiddush is he's saying, the Rebbe says, the Chomim say, what does it mean? Ben shekitchel l'shem yisha, ben shekitchel l'shem yivamos. Well, how is it mekadosh? With bio, he's mekadosh with kesef. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as kedusha l'shem yivamos. It doesn't exist. It's a b'chlal thing. He says, see, Rashi says, interesting. Rashi says it's Kedushi Tos. It's Kedushi Tos because he thinks that you could have Kedushin L'Shem Yibum. It's not. Kedushin, you want a Kedushin, you want to marry like regular good. This doesn't exist. It doesn't exist such a thing. There's no Kedushin L'Shem Yibum. Yeah, only Bia. Nothing. Then definitely it's nothing. Nothing. Right.
That's what we talk to Kiddushin about. Because if it's bia, doesn't matter how it is.
No. What about he does bia l'shem yibum after he gave chalitza? Then it doesn't work. Doesn't work.
After he
Yibum, he has bia l'shem yibum. Mean it. Because he had chalitza first, right? That's the Chachomim. The Chachomim say, right? Tzricha menu get. Amar Aviv by Tami the Rebbe. So Ka'id b'nichsei ger u'sov shaloin the Lokani, right? A person goes and does a ma'isa, right? Odim nichsei ger. A ger, it's hefker, right? So a person normally does a ma'isa chazoka. Something's hefker. You go when you start digging in the field. You change your lock. What's that halacha? You kona. That's a ma'is chazoka. What about a person's odim nichsei ger? It's hefker, but he thinks it's his own. So he did an act of depositing bailus, but it's not a kinyan, because the kavanah is not there. So over here he's what? He's miyabim. He does bia l'shem kedushin. No, kedushin l'shem yibum. It's not because. Is not comparable, right? It's not comparable. Over there, he doesn't have das kinyan, right? A person goes and he plows the field. And he thinks he's plowing his own field. Is his kavanah what to acquire? Here, he has kavanah to acquire, except he thinks there's such thing as kedushin liyibum. It's also no bia. It's not. He says it's irrelevant. L'shem kinyan. That's what he says. Hear this. The Konig, he says this will be camera. He goes and he plows in one pair. He thinks it's Ruvain's and Shimon together. They're both Gerim. They both died. So you have two fields that Hefker. He has in mind to be Koner Ruvain's and happens to be Shimon's. So what do we say? It's Koner. Of course, you have Das to be Koner. It's irrelevant. So if that's the case over here, if he has Das, Liknos, he wants it to be his wife. So whether she's called the Yavama, she's called Kedushin, doesn't make a difference. Elo Amar Abaye. Even though it's not exactly that case. No, it's not. See, there you have Ruvain Ger, you have Shimon Ger. I have in mind to be going to the field. I want to be going to Ruvain's field. Does he have Das? He doesn't want to be going to Shimon's field. Here he has in mind to do something which doesn't exist. You want to be Kona, but what do you want to be Kona? You want to be Kona Yevama? You can't be Kona Yevama. No, but he says it is comparable. That's what he's saying. No, he says if you were to compare it, you compare it to Ruven Ger, Shimon Ger. And we say, well, it is Konig. There it is Konig. So here also should be Konig. No, he says, Avo mi dami hosam lo mechaven mikni, hokka mechaven mikni. Halo damyu. This case, what would you compare it to? Halo damyu elo lo d'michse ger zer, sov shel ger acher, hu de Konig. You are Konig. So here he has das lignus. He wants her to be his wife. I understand that. So that's what I'm saying. So they're not comparable. They're not comparable. Because one method, it doesn't exist. You want to create a new kind of kinyan. There's no. So the answer is he's doing it with a mice. He's doing it with a maisabiyah. He's doing it with a maisabiyah. He's doing it with a maisabiyah. I want to be kind of this woman for kedusha with a maisabiyah. She happens to be a yevama. L'shem yevamin doesn't exist. Doesn't make a difference. But biyah l'shem kinyan, and that's called kedusha. So what he calls it, he's calling this. He's doing a Maisa Kedushin. And he calls it Yibum. So what he calls it? He's doing Kedushin is Biyah, the Shem Kinyan. So it's like Reuven and Shimon. Even though I'm saying it's not really the same. There's a slight difference. There I want to be Kona the field through Charisha. Doesn't make a difference if it's Reuven and Shimon's. Here I want to be Kona, Kedushin, L'Shem, Yevama as a Yevama. There's no such thing as to be Kona Yevama with Biyah if you gave a Chalitza. You want to be Mekadosh, that's a different story. If you don't mind, I want to be Mekadosh with Biyah, fine. But here he wants to do Kedushin, L'Shem, Yibum. Right? There's no such thing. No Yibum, you have to have no Das. You have to have no Das whatsoever. No. Here he wants to create something. The Torah says there's no such thing as Kedusha L'Shem Yibum. Doesn't exist. Here, does it make a difference if I have mind to acquire Reuven's field or Shimon's field? I want to be on. Yeah, I understand, but you need no das. But you need no das. No, this is post chalitza. No, this is post chalitza. This is post chalitza. Post chalitza, there's no such thing as Yibum any longer. The only way you could be kind to this woman is only L'Shem Kedushin. Yibum has no relevance. So it's saying that difference doesn't make a difference. That's what the Gemara is saying. He has das to be kona with biyah, that's it. That he calls it kedusha, biyah doesn't mean anything. Elam bayi hochma eskino gon the omar lo his kachli b'maimer yevomin. 1 second. He says, I want to be b'maimer yevomin. Rebbe saw b'maimer ilu ziko karami. Yeah, 1 second. This is pre chalitza. He says, I want to be kona you. No, he says, maimer yevomin. There's no such thing as being mekadosh yevoma, right? The Torah only says there's what? There's bias shiva. He says, I want to be mekadosh maimer yevomin. Rebbe Sova maimer ilu zika karami. You have the zika, you have the connection. This is another level of attachment. No, now we're talking pre-chalitza. This is pre-chalitza. Talking pre-chalitza. Maimer ilu zika karami v'osi chalitza afkata lezika. So therefore, when the chalitza is given, what does it take away? It takes away the chalitza. It takes away the zika. 1 second. It stands on the chalitza. It stands on the chalitza. Here? On zika. Meaning there's no such thing as kedushin. Again, we're dealing rabbinic. We're dealing rabbinic kedushin. No, we're dealing with a rabbinic kedushin. Rabbinic kedushin. It's a rabbinic kedushin. Right? No. It's not. It's not a chiv krisus. He gave chalitza. After chalitza, it's only a lav. So if you hold like the chachamim, if he'd marry her normally, is she married? She's married. Right? She's married to him. It's forbidden, but she's married. She's married to him. Right? So we're going according to the chachamim. So he says, Rebbe holds that kedushin maimer yevomin is ilu zika karami. Vosi chalitza afkata lezika. Rabbanan sari hay luchudikoi v'hay luchudikoi. Meikore ilu amalo. Iskachil maimi yevomin. Li milo mahani. Hashnami mahani. See, this is different over here. How does he explain it? No, I hear it. See, before we were dealing with something else. Before we were dealing with something else. Yeah, but where's the question? Where's the question? Where's the question? On the Torah level, is the kedushin? He did this after the chalitza. After the chalitza. It says if he would have done it before the chalitza, do we look at it as the kedushin only has value when it's associated with zika? Oh no, it's a separate act. Hay l'chudika, each one is independent. If you say it's drabanan, I hear it. If you say Maim is drabanan, I hear it. No, so before I hear it, before he does chalitza, it's drabanan. There's no such thing as kedushin to a yivama, right? Post, it's chavi lavin, so it's a regular ma'aser kedushin. So it's a regular ma'aser kedushin. What do you mean? It's on top. Just as before it was on top of the zika, and it doesn't exist unless the zika. Here also it doesn't exist. How do you compare what's before and what's afterwards? Before it's drabanan, afterwards it's doraisa. She's a regular woman. She's chavi lavin. She's a regular chavi lavin. So it's hay l'chudekoi v'hay l'chudekoi. Right? Each one's independent of the other. I'm going Rebbe. Rebbe is not going like... No, Rebbe, that's my difficulty. That's my difficulty over here. If he'd be Mekadosh regularly, she's definitely Mekudeshes. What do you mean? Why isn't it like being Mekadosh regular Chavi Lavin? But it's a regular Chavi Lavin. If he'd want to be Mekadosh Mitzris. It's called Kedushin, doesn't make a difference. No, but he's bringing me a raya. Just as before, she gets chalitza. If we do maimer, what does it mean? It means nothing, right? Because the moment you take off the zika, there's no kedushin. So therefore, if you give chalitza, you don't have to give a get. So here, afterwards, when you do the kedushin doesn't work. What does one thing have to do with another? Before he gives chalitza, the Torah says there's no such thing as being mekadosh yivama. There's no such thing. Right? You can't be Mekadosh Yavama. Torah says the only way you could acquire her, you have to do Biyah. If she's a Yavama. Correct? Free Chalitza. Rabbinically. It's purely rabbinic. It's purely rabbinic. It's purely rabbinic. No, then it's called Kedushin. Why isn't it? What does one thing have to do with another? Yeah, but they're not comparable. That's my difficulty. They're not comparable. Right? Well, how do you compare the two? And even the Chamsi, because even before is also, they're two independent things. What do you mean they're independent? How does Rabbi disagree? Today she's a Chayvi Lavim. The Torah says in Mekadosh Chayvi Lavim, the Kedushin takes effect. What's Maimer? What is Maimer? He gave her money. He says, "You married to me." Harei mukadeshesli with kesef. She happens to be Yavama who received chalitza. Therefore, what? What does the art scroll say? No, that I hear. Rebbe says, not according to Rebbe, according to the Chachamim. According to the Chachamim, because he says each one is independent of the other. The mimer is not contingent on the Zika. Rebbe had difficulty with it. It's my difficulty.
It's a previous Zika. That's the mimer. Zika 32, 33.
According to Rebbe, there's no
There's no-
to restaurant. So there's no
Right.
restaurant, so there's no kedusha. It's not a question of kedusha, it's a question of maimar. According to Rabbanon, maimar and kedusha is interchangeable. Just the words. According to Rebbe, no, it's not just the words. It's actually maimar is maimar, and kedusha is kedusha. Two different things.
See, Rashi says, I mean, what did he say to her? What?
Maimar.
Did he give her a document? What did he give her? He gave her a document of Kedushin. He didn't do Bia, because then it's like Ode Nichse Ager. Right?
There has to be a new entity.
He gave her a document, evidently the language.
Right,
The language was Mimer. The language was Mimer. That was the language.
but it's Kedushin, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, Rashi says maimar because you know Rabbanon the whole the words speaking in Elo, Echo the Kaima Zika. Also maimar because it Allah. Hocha leko lemeima hoki the Asher Chalikom Sako Zika. It's Rashi. It's the same line. It's an entirely new line.
New,
It's
right.
got nothing to do with Zika.
No, they're referring to Zika. No, Zika existed already. Zika existed.
See, once he's saying this, he says, he used the word, Hiskachli b'maimer yevomin. So he gives her a document. Let's say he gives her money. Hiskachli b'maimer yevomin. Does he want to acquire her?
Yeah, he said touch it.
He says, but he used the term b'maimer yevomin. So we say there's no such kinyan.
Right.
Because they all miss. But we say, does he have das liknos? Did he give money and he says, Hiskachli? What difference does it make? Right? Otherwise, it's like Odim Nichse Ager.
Right.
That was what we asked. Does he have das liknos? Yes. So he used the wrong language. Big deal. It's like thinking it's Reuven and Shimon's. Therefore what? Otherwise the whole question never started. That's what we said before. If it's because he wants to create a new type of Kedushin,
Here is not. Here it says touch it.
so we asked, but it's the same thing as das liknos. He says it's kachi. So what if he says Maimer? He gave him money. You understand? I mean, that was the difficulty. Once he's saying this, what was the original question?
He said touch it.
Rashi says he did use that language. It's kachi Maimer Yevomin.
Touch it. You know behind that.
Okay. I hear what he's saying. I hear what he's saying. Rav Omar, Idi Omar, b'maymi yavom kol yamado pligi demhanya. He says, Rav says no. If he says it's kachli b'maymi yavomin, takes effect. Otherwise, kigon domel is kachli b'zikas yavomin. Oh, that's different. Zika means with the connection. There is no connection.
The Maima gives you the Zika.
No.
It has to.
This is post chalitza. There's no Zika.
Wait, that's the confusion. The Maima usually tells you that the Zika is still in effect. Where if it was a get, you would not have any kind of Zika. The Maima is a connection. Maima is a
But
connection.
what's the currency used at Kedushin? Zikat Ma'amar.
Kedushin is
Zikat
something.
Ma'amar there is history. Zikat.
Kedushin is something brand new. It has to be brand new, but a Maimar is from the previous marriage.
No, but the touching is the what? What's the touching in the what?
We're talking about the Zika. There's a
If it
Zika.
says if it is the Ma'amar in Babel, it's a currency. Zikat in Babel is no currency.
That's the
Zika.
confusion because they're using the wrong word. If it, the rabbi is saying that the action is the same, period. The action is the same, but the words are misleading. Maimar comes from the previous marriage. A Kedushin comes from a new marriage.
Okay, let me do the talking, okay? Okay. He's saying like this, Rebbe Sova Yesh Zika. So Yesh Zika, when is the Zika? Zika is before Chalitza.
Right.
So therefore he's saying, I want to marry you with the Zika. Okay? Right? So we're dealing with a reality, it's an entity of Zika.
Okay.
So therefore we said that's called Kedushin. Kedushin. Rabbanan called what it's Kedushin, that's Kedushin. Right? He's marrying her with the Zika. But let's say post, after Chalitza, there's no Zika. So the whole concept of Maimer has no relevance.
Right.
His kachli b'Maimer. There's no Maimer. Maimer is only, it has to be coupled with Zika. There's no Zika.
Right.
The Chacham say it ain't Zika. The basis for Maimer has nothing to do with Zika. It's independent. You know, it's saying the same thing as we said before.
You do Ma'amar without the Zikat. You do Ma'amar.
No, but he says it's kachi b'Maimer.
Then it's a currency.
He says it's kachi b'Maimer. That's what he says. Yeah. So that.
Touching the what? The currency. When he says touching the Zika,
No, it says Ein Zika Meikoras. He says so. Before, if you said it's Kachi b'mayim, it's unrelated to the Zika. It's unrelated. So afterwards, so it's unrelated to the Zika. As before, it's unrelated. Afterwards, it's unrelated. So just as before she needs a get, afterwards she also needs a get. But you know something? It's saying the same thing in different. It's like semantics. Before we said is mimer in addition to the Zika, like it's Rabia alei the Zika, or is it hay luchude hay luchude? So that was saying it differently. Is mimer? He said hiskachi bezika. So you need Zika. Without Zika, the mimer is not. The Chum said no. Zika has no relevance to mimer. Even if it says hiskachi bezika, factually mimer is not Zika. Mimer has to do that's b'makadish a yavama. A yavama. So therefore, if it originally never had to do with Zika, afterwards you don't need Zika to be in the place. According to Rebbe, did you need Zika? That's why the mimer is a mimer, because if there's no Zika after Chalitza, so the mimer is nothing. She needs no get. Right? Yeah. Ein Zika meikora, ilu meikora, ilu amalis kachli bezika sivomin, milo mahani, hashnami mahani. Same thing, because as before, the basis for his kachi b'maimer, it had nothing to do with the Zika, because ain't Zika. Rav Shrab Yoma b'chalitza ksheiro. Ida omalo. His kachli b'zikas yevomin. Kuli amalo pligi delo mahani. He says, b'chalitza ksheiro. What's chalitza ksheiro? You know what chalitza ksheiro is? If he gives yibum, the chalitza is not a chalitza ksheira. Chalitza ksheira means that even on her bit she had nothing. So Torah says you give chalitza. If let's say it's a damaged zika, rabbinically it's damaged, right? He gave a get. The get automatically causes now, even if he's boiler, it's called bia psula. You're not supposed to have bia after giving a get, rabbinically. Because yeah, on the Midoraisa it's konem. Because the chalitza already was damaged, the Zika was damaged with the get. So that's called via psula. Chalitza psula. What's chalitza psula? Meaning already, because he did maimer before, let's say we do maimer before. We give the chalitza, this chalitza doesn't terminate everything. Because we see her as a married woman. That's called chalitza psula. Because he maimer or even he gave a get. A get also is chalitza psula. There's something which tampered with the Zika. Something tampered with the Zika, more or less. What happens? He did nothing. He gives a chalitza. Chalitza ksheira. It's terminated. All of a sudden he says to her, you know something? Now I'm going to give you maimer yavomin. She has no connection to before. See, if it's chalitza psula, why is it called psula? Because it doesn't do the full job. So we still see her within the context of yavoma. But once it's a bona fide chalitza, it's chalitza ksheira, she's not a yavoma. So once it's not, she's not. What does this have? Maimis yivomin. There's nothing. That's what he's saying. Rav Shab Yoma chalitza ksheira idi yom litzkachli bezikas yivomim kuliam no pligi. Why? Because once he gives chalitza, there's no zika. It's gone. Lo mahani voch b'chalitza psul kamif maso b'chalitza psula poteris. Chalitza psula, even though it's not a bona fide chalitza, she's free to go. Vaso chalitza psula eino poteris. You hear what Rashi says? He gave her a get, then the chalitza. So the pshat is, remember we had the case before. We said if a person gives a get and then he gives chalitza, it's called chalitza psul. All the brothers have to give chalitza. This is all rabbinical. Midrabanan. Every brother has to give chalitza. Because it's not really the way it's perceived. The chalitza is not really what it does it? Okay, so the question is, chalitza psula, is it poteris? If it's poteris, so there's no zika. It's eno poteris, then there is a slight zika. Go checholetz achar ageh kamiv rabbonet savri lo afkato shapi v'yesh achrei klum hilko koni mimer. So since there's some remnant of the zika left rabbinically, so therefore I see the mimer as a mimer because it has to be connected to zika. Otherwise, he says he's mekadosh with zika. But if you hold that it terminates it, even the chalitza psula fully terminates 100%. So what do you mean makadosh with zika? There's no zika. Ravashim kuli am chalitza psula eino pteris. V'hocha b'yesh tenai b'chalitza kamifli. Could a person be cholitz on a tenai? This famous la'alocha we hold anything which is not b'shlichus is not b'tenai. right? Where do we learn out the laws of Tanai from? When they go to Bnei Ruvain. So we learn from there. I cover all the, but anything was Isa b'shlichus, Isa b'Tanai. Something's less of b'shlichus, less of b'Tanai. Something that you could delegate through an agent, you could make it contingent on a condition. Something you cannot delegate through a condition, you cannot make it conditional. You cannot make it conditional. So first, let's say we give a Yavama a conditional chalitza. It's not valid. Because you can't delegate chalitza through a shliach. Kedushin, you can make a conditional kedushin, a conditional divorce, because that could be delegated. So that's the argument. Is the Tanai b'chalitza, could you make a conditional chalitza? Yeah? Marsav yesh Tanai b'chalitza, Marsav ain't Tanai b'chalitza. What does this have to do with Tanai? Avagav the kaim l'chalitza mutas kshero, hani Tanai lo svira lo. What is he giving her? He gives her money, and he says, "I'm marrying you with what? With zikas yivomin." It's a mistake. It's a conditional. I'm only marrying you if there's a zika. That means if there's no zika, well, he's giving her money. I'm not marrying you. Right. So that's the question. Everybody else chalitza psula is poteris. Ain't a poteris. Ain't a poteris. Okay. And what's the question? Yesh Tanai b'chalitza. If you hold yesh Tanai b'chalitza, then what? What, he married her with money? No, not with money. Not with money. He had to give her something. He had to give her something, right? Yesh Tanai b'chalitza. He gave her chalitza if she gives her money. So, okay. So what? So the Tanakh Marsa v'yesh Tanai b'chalitza. So that's the Shiloh. He made it Tanai, then he wants to be Mekadosh Zikas Yivomin. So if you hold that Tanai is not a Tanai, you send the Zikas Yivomin. Because we say Chalitza is not Poteris. But we say Kuli Ama Chalitza Psula ain't no Poteris. So Chalitza Psula, we're talking about a Chalitza Psula over here. Wait. Chalitza Psula, that means, a Chalitza Psula, that means there's a Zika afterwards. Right? We're saying ain't no Poteris. That's what we explained before, Rashi. It didn't revoke V'yesh achre klum hilkach koni maimer. Since there's an attachment, there's some zika. So now what he's doing? We're saying kuli almahold chalitza psula enu pateris. That means everybody agrees there's a remnant of zika. So how do you terminate the zika? How do you terminate it? No, he gave chalitza. So what do you do? You give a get. You give a get afterwards. Right. Or all the other brothers give chalitza. We said chalitza psula, all the brothers have to give chalitza. So let's see, our brothers didn't give chalitza. So it is a remnant. So what does it have to do with Tanai? Hocha b'yesh Tanai b'chalitza kamiflagi. Rashi says he gave a get first. He gave a get first, so that means that zika is not a bona fide zika. Chalitza only terminates a bona fide zika, totally. But since it was damaged zika, so chalitza psul, there's something which is left. Yeah, that on a chalitza psula. The what? What was the tanai? And so that means, so he gave a chalitza. Okay, good. Now what do you do? He gives her money.
He gives her money on the condition. I'll give you chalitza on the condition that you give me money. And if she doesn't give him money, then the chalitza is not told. And then he turned around and he was makadosh with kesef.
No, but he says that if he made a time, she didn't give him the money, the chalitza is tofis. Although he made the condition, but the chalitza is tofis.
Why?
That's what Rashi says. יש תנאי בחליצה, שחלץ לה על מנת שתיתן לו 200 זוז. רבי סבר, אין תנאי בחליצה, ואפילו לא נתנה
I hear it like this. No, it means like this. No. Albert, you going? No problem. I think this is what it means. Before we want to say them arguing chalitza psula is no. If it's a chalitza psula, everybody agrees there's a remnant. We're not talking about that case. We're not talking about chalitza psula. We're talking about a bona fide chalitza. No get was given, and he gives a chalitza on a condition. You give me money, the chalitza chalitza. You don't give me money, the chalitza is not a chalitza. 1 second, and then afterwards he says areya mukdeshesli, and she didn't meet it tonight. She did not meet it tonight. She didn't give him the money. Now he says areya mukdeshesli bezikas Yevomin. See, if you hold the chalitza as a chalitza, what he said means nothing because there's no zika. But if you hold the tanai as a tanai, that means the chalitza wasn't a chalitza, so now he's makadosh with the zika. It's existent. Simple. Push it. Yeah. When it says, before we want to say the machlokes, we're not talking about a chalitza psula. Regular case. He gave her chalitza on a tanai. You give me she never gave him the $200. If the chalitza is a chalitza, even though there was a condition, then he says, I'm marrying you with the zika. There's no zika. No. But if you hold the tanai, is a tanai, is not a tanai, right? Then there is a zika. Right? Marsav yesh tanai b'chalitza, Marsav ain't tanai b'chalitza. Ravino amno, kuli ama yesh tanai b'chalitza. V'ocha b'tanai kofel k'miflagi. You know this? Same idea. He married her with the tanai, but he didn't make it with a tanai kofel. Right? So, Marsav bina tanai kofel. So therefore, the tanai is not a tanai. There's no zika. So when he says arei mekadesh zika, there's no zika. There's no tanai. Marsav bina tanai kofel. So if that's the case, there is a zika. Tanai kofel means you have to speak out both sides of the condition. If you give me the money, the chalitza is chalitza. If you don't give me the money, it's not. He didn't say, he says just, if you give me the money, the chalitza will be a chalitza. He didn't say the other side. And if you don't, it won't. So there's an argument in Moran Kedushin whether it's valid tonight. That's called kofel. You speak out, it's a double-sided. Always. So they're arguing that case over here. When he gave the chalitza, he did not speak out both sides of the condition. If it's a valid condition, then there's no zika. But if it's not right, if it's not valid, the condition was not valid, then the chalitza was not a chalitza. So and he says, and now I'm marrying you with the zika. It's valid. There is a zika because the chalitza was never a chalitza. Cholatz was a mimer. The Mishnah said he gave chalitza, did mimer v'nos and get uboal. It's actually are they kesef there? The zikas yivanim komi. No. He's giving a kesef. No, he's doing mimer with her. He's giving a mimer. This mimer. Mimer is not. Yeah. With the zika. No, not that kesef. That's the Tanai kesef. His kesef, he's giving kesef. Mimer's right. Cholatz was a mimer. The Mishnah says he gave chalitza, did mimer nosen get uboal. He's not koner, right? The Mishnah says he's not koner. He gave chalitza. Then he goes and he does mimer, gives her a get. Then he cohabits with her. It's nothing, because since he gave chalitza, the bia, she's not called his yivam any longer, right?
You also give get, so it doesn't mean that.
No, the get means the kedushin. That means nothing. But whatever happened afterwards means nothing. Once he gives the chalitza, we're talking about chayvi lavim. So, but he did kedushin. He gave her a get. Then he has relations with her. So if it would have been pre-chalitza, she's his yavama. He has to give her a get midoraisa, right? But now that he already gave chalitza, the bia means nothing, because it's after the chalitza. Benisni nami ein acha bia klum. What does the mission say? Like as we say, ein chalitza, ein acha chalitza klum. It should say, meaning if he gave bia, now he does chalitza means nothing, right? Not because bia means it's his wife, right? What does it say that? He changed it. Abai. Abai v'ravo. Domi tavai tini enacha bia klum. Tanidan. Hatoras Yevomin L'Shuk Adifalei. Right? He prefers to talk about freeing her. Here he's talking in the context, when is she free to marry? Once she has chalitza, she's cut free, she can go marry. Here you're restricting her. Once you do bia, she's his full-fledged wife. So he prefers to talk about her being freed rather than her being constrained. No, that he's talking in that context. He wants to tell you, how could this woman, although she's bound, she's a shemeres yavam, what do you have to do that she be totally free to be gone, to be released? Once you have chalitza, she's free to go. You need nothing more than that. If you say, once you have bia, she's his wife, before she was bound, now she's more bound. You understand? So he prefers to talk about her being bound and no longer bound. That's why he chooses the case. Not speak if you follow what I'm saying. Good. Rabbinically. Because it has a semblance of a get. Okay? Achas, echod yivoma achas, echod shnei yivomos. Mastis lo ben Azai, Tanya ben Azai, ome yesh maimer acha maimer, b'shnei yivomin. Ben Azai says, in our mission it's mentioned Reb Shimon ben Azai. Reb Shimon ben Azai, yesh maimer acha maimer b'shnei yivomin, v'ba achas, ve'in maimer acha maimer b'shnei yivomos, v'yovim echod. You hear this? Again. Yesh maimer acha maimer b'shnei yivomin, v'yovim achas. Why? Because each one has a separate zikah. Look, I had my zikah, you had your zikah. You want to do kedushin, I have to do kedushin. Again, it's rabbinical. Because each one was attached to the woman. But if a person is one yavam and he has two yavamos, the Torah says, right, you're not. But he says, but if it's, but ein maimer yesh maimer b'shnei yavam yavam achas ve'ein maimer maimer b'shnei yavamos yavam echad. Because it says by sechu yivnei v'nei batim. Because initially you're not permitted to take both women. Here, each one could take this woman. So therefore, rabbinically, I see the maimer, the kedushin as a kedushin, rabbinically. What's he have? One yavam, two yavamos. Never was there consideration he can marry both of these women. Therefore, once you marry one, the second maimer is nothing. That's how we differentiate. Keitzad maimer luz, yeah. Leimim b'sei lishmuel dam shmuel, cholatz lebalis maimer, lo niftro tzoroso. Right? Cholatz lebalis maimar lo nifsho tzoroso. Yeah, he says it like this. He gave, let's say he did maimar, right? Cholatz lebalis maimar. He does kedushin to one. So that means basically we see the other one is separated from the first one. If he gets chalitza, they're both together. They're both linked as one. Let's say he does kedushin to one. To Yevama A. The second, that means Yevama B right now is off limits to him. Is not available. So when he gets this chalitza to the one he gave Maimer to, we already saw them not linked.
Right.
You understand? So therefore, rabbinically, right, it does not free the second one from getting married. She needs a chalitza. Let's say he did nothing. You have two Yevamas. So they're both linked. No, they're two widows of the same brother. Die. Now your brother, he gives chalitza to one of the widows. They're both free to marry. Why? Because at that moment, they both have the same connection to him. Let's say he gives kedushin to one, to widow A. At that moment, the second one is no longer linked to him, rabbinically. We don't see her linked to him. Right? Correct? So when he gives chalitza to the one he gave Maimer to, it's nothing. On a Torah level, Maimer is nothing to a Yevama. He has to give chalitza. Right? He has to do chalitza. He didn't do it's rabbinical. So rabbinically, how do we see widow A? Widow B is not linked to him anymore because she's not permitted to him. So when he gives chalitza to A, he's giving chalitza to A, but it has no relevance to B because we don't see B as part of him. But factually, on a Torah level, B is what? Is linked. So on a Torah level, she's definitely free to marry. But since she's viewed as no longer linked to A, because he did kedushin, therefore rabbinically she needs a separate chalitza. She needs a separate chalitza, but it's midrabanan. Okay, that's Shmuel's halacha. Cholatz lebalas mamar lo niftra tzaroso. Utiufte to Rav Yosef, because he says it miktoni choletz cholatz ktoni di'evid. Second. Let me say Leilu Shmuel. Maimer zu v'cholatz zu. Maimer zu v'cholatz zu koi belonok chalitza balas maimer. Say Leilu Shmuel the v'cholatz balas maimer lo nifshach. Yeah. It says the case of the Mishnah. It says he gave maimer to A, and did chalitza to B. So it says A is free to marry. To B and B and A got to get too. Yeah, what happened? A got chalitza, maimer, get, and B gets the chalitza. So Mishnah says A is free to marry. But what's the inference? But if he would have given chalitza to A, then B wouldn't be free to marry. So that's a right to Shmuel, right? He did maimer. The Mishnah says if he did maimer and get to A, and then he gives chalitza to B, they're both free to marry. Why don't you say another case? Say the simple case. He did maimer, get, and chalitza A. They're all free to marry. What does he have to say the chalitza was to B? The Mishnah, the way the Mishnah states the case, the chalitza is to B. So it seems to me if the chalitza is to A, B wouldn't be free to marry. It's only because B received the chalitza. Right, so I'm saying, so it seems to be if A would have gotten, since we see rabbinically B not connected to A, so that'd be right, that's a proof to Shmuel. Right? Because otherwise the Tana should tell me a case. You gave chalitza to A. We're dealing with A anyway. Everything happened to A, B's free to go. So what do we have to say? He gave the chalitza to B. So evidently if you give chalitza to A, B is not free to go. So that's a proof to Shmuel. Right? So it's difficult on Rav Yossi, because Rav Yossi says no. Miktoni choletz, cholatz ktoni. It doesn't say choletz. He does chalitza to B. If he gave chalitza to B, A is free to go. But factually, when he's choletz, we're not saying he's instructed to chalitza to B. He's not instructed. It's cholatz. If he gave chalitza, he could be choletz la'A. Bezdom said give chalitza to A, B is free to go. If he went and gave chalitza to B, A is free to go. But it wasn't through instruction. It's something he did. It's no proof to Shmuel. You following? Because otherwise it should say choletz. Right? What does it say cholatz? If you say choletz, that's the way you're supposed to do it. If you want A, that's the way. But if you do it the other way, it's not going to work. B's not going to be free to go. He went and did his own thing, this person. You know, it's interesting. There's a very famous story. In the early part of the 20th century, there was a Yevama in America. The Yavam was in Europe. And a Rav in Europe, and he ruled that the Yavam, the surviving brother, should appoint a shliach and give chalitza in America. Yeah, and he did. And then she got married. Word got back to Europe, and there was a whole tumult. Because the halachas we're going to have later, you can't delegate it. You can't delegate it through a shliach. That's the reason why you can't make a condition with chalitza. Because anything which is not delegatable, you can't make a condition. But this rabbi, who was a prominent Talmud Chacham, he paskin she could remarry. Got back, there was a tumult. This guy was a level of embarrassment you can't imagine. So he authored a sefer to defend his position. The rabbi in America. A sefer. He was a proficient in Shas. And he took every Gemara which indicated it's no good, and he twisted it in the most ingenious way. So they said, it's unbelievable what a person would do to save his reputation. He would take the Gemara, you know, it's blatantly clear, black and white, it's not valid. But how does he look? He looks really bad. This is something even a novice should have known. And he messed up. He messed up. Okay, he messed up. But rather, he authored a sefer to try to defend his position, which was totally baseless and wrong. Yeah. Okay.